Wardle. Gambling has taken over sports and it's taken over politics in some spaces. So for the first time ever, the federal government is going to dedicate money to studying gambling addiction, this long past time. Tonight, Kent takes a look at where that research is going to start its focus and why the people who study this say this can't come soon enough.
At a time when you can use your phone to put money on anything from the outcome of an NBA playoff game to the Iran war, you may be surprised to learn what type of money our country has put toward the issue.
Gambling has never been recognized by the federal government. There's not been a penny spent on federal money in all these years on gambling.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. That should give pause to everybody.
Susan Sheridan Tucker, executive director of the Minnesota Alliance on Problem Gambling, says she is encouraged to see the military finally receive the first federal medical research funding approved for gambling addiction.
There's a very high prevalence rate of gambling amongst active military and veterans, and the suicide rate is very high. So anything that comes out of that population is going to be helpful. Even in the time that I've been doing this work, it's just exploded and it's everywhere. To be in an environment where you literally can bet on anything, I don't think that's a healthy place for us as a society to be.
What is demand for treatment right now in Minnesota?
Amongst the few providers that we have, they are seeing an increase in calls. And it primarily is sports betting that they're seeing. Younger people coming in and dealing with sports betting.
And keep in mind, though problem gambling treatment is free in Minnesota, she says it usually takes years for someone to seek it out.
On average, it's about 10 years. And that's a long runway to create a lot of damage.
It's why the Alliance also offers free financial counseling and free access to apps that offer a way to reduce time and money spent gambling on phones.
It's a harm prevention tool for individuals who realize, I've been taken over by the apps, so this will block all those apps. The last few months, actually, we've received many calls.
And she says educators are among those calling.
Some teachers see it in their classroom. The kids that are still having their phones in class, they're gambling in class. I mean, we have no prevention in schools. Nothing. We do not utter the word problem gambling. We're going to be paying the consequences of that, unfortunately.
Especially at a time when there's a lot of money to be made at their expense.
Ohio just fined Kalshi $5 million for marketing essentially to teens. Actually, that's a small price for them to pay.
Now, Susan is hopeful that the federal research funding is just the first step. Right now, there is a bill in Congress known as the Points Act, which would dedicate a third of the excise tax that is already collected from gambling, and it would dedicate it to fund treatment, awareness, and prevention efforts. It obviously still needs to pass through Congress, but it does have bipartisan support. Jana.
Yeah, and this is that type of addiction that starts slowly and climbs and climbs and climbs, and you can't see it in the way other addictions are. And she's right about young people and sports. You and I both were talking about how athletes have spoken out, professional athletes saying they get death threats all the time by people who have been gambling and they don't get the points.
Because you can bet not just on games, but on specific athletes and how they're going to do. And it's become so easy that even sports betting is illegal in Minnesota, but these prediction markets, they can't keep them out right now.
All right, Kent, interesting topic. We'll revisit again, I'm sure. Thanks so much.